My wife thought I was just a computer guy, so when she tried to destroy me in our divorce, I revealed I'm actually a licensed attorney. Guess I should explain how someone ends up being a licensed attorney, while their wife thinks they're just a freelance IT consultant. Spoiler, it wasn't some master plan, just a series of decisions that, looking back, probably saved me from complete financial ruin. Met Victoria when I was 26. She was everything. Beautiful, ambitious, working at a high-end marketing firm. I was finishing law school at night while doing IT work during the day to pay bills. When we started dating, she made it clear she couldn't be with someone in a boring profession like law. Said lawyers were all stuffy old men who argued about paperwork, so I didn't mention the law degree. Told her I was focusing on tech consulting full-time. Yeah, I know, stupid, but I was young and she was way out of my league, or so I thought. We got married 2 years later. By then, I'd passed the bar, kept my license active, but never practiced. The IT consulting was actually going well, making decent money, flexible hours. Victoria loved telling people her husband was in tech. She'd literally introduce me at parties as my husband, the tech entrepreneur. Fast forward 10 years, the marriage wasn't what I'd hoped. Victoria had expensive tastes that grew exponentially each year. Designer everything, trips to exclusive resorts, a house we couldn't really afford but she needed for her image. I worked 70-hour weeks to keep up. She worked maybe 20 hours at her job, spent the rest at the gym, salon, or with her friends. The breaking point came 6 months ago. Found out she'd been having an affair with Derek, her CrossFit trainer. Classic, right? But here's the kicker. She'd been paying him $3,000 a month for private sessions from my business account. Those sessions were definitely private, just not the kind involving exercise. When I confronted her, she laughed, actually laughed, said I was too boring, too predictable, that Derek was a real man who knew how to live. Then she said the words that sealed her fate. I want a divorce and I'm taking you for everything. You can barely dress yourself properly. You think you can handle a divorce without me destroying you? I said, okay. Filed the next day. The divorce papers were served and Victoria hired Reginald Ashworth from Ashworth and Associates, one of those lawyers who advertises on billboards. We fight dirty so you don't have to. She called me gloating. Reggie says you're an idiot for not getting a lawyer. He's going to make sure you're living in your car by the time this is over. What Victoria didn't know was that maintaining a law license for 10 years means required continuing education. I'd kept up with family law changes, divorce proceedings, everything. Boring weekend seminars that were about to pay off. First court date was yesterday. Preliminary hearing for temporary orders. Ashworth immediately tried to intimidate me. You know, it's not too late to get representation. I know some budget lawyers who might take pity on you. Victoria chimed in loud enough for everyone to hear. He probably can't even afford the consultation fee. I've been supporting this loser for years. He fixes computers for a living. When the judge asked if I was representing myself, Victoria actually snorted. Ashworth smirked. Then I pulled out my perfectly formatted legal documents with proper case citations and evidence references. The look on Ashworth's face was priceless. I presented exhibits showing Victoria had withdrawn $54,000 from my business account for her affair, plus her social media posts about planning to take him for everything. I referenced specific state codes about marital misconduct and economic fault. The judge was looking at me with interest. You seem surprisingly well versed in family law, Mr. Thompson. I try to be prepared, Your Honor. Based on my evidence, the judge denied all Victoria's requests for temporary support and ordered her to return the stolen money within 30 days. Victoria exploded. He can't know all this. He fixes computers. He probably Googled it. Discovery phase was illuminating. Ashworth tried every dirty trick, but I responded to everything within 24 hours with proper formatting and case citations. During Victoria's deposition, I presented 3 years of text messages between her and Derek planning this divorce. I'm only staying until I can figure out how to get the most money. She got cocky and admitted everything on the record, bragging about Derek being a real man and a fitness entrepreneur. According to his tax returns, Derek made $11,000 last year total. She'd been planning this divorce for years, hiding assets, maxing out credit cards because he'd have to pay half the debt anyway. 2 days before trial, Victoria posted on social media, "Can't wait for court Monday. Watching my idiot ex try to play lawyer is going to be hilarious. Derek and I already have champagne ready." I screenshot it and added it to my exhibits. At trial, I presented evidence methodically. Texts, bank records, social media posts, each piece building on the last. Then came the big reveal during my cross-examination of Victoria. She was getting confident, mocking my legal knowledge. "You fix computers. You're not a lawyer. This whole thing is you trying to pretend you're something you're not." That's when I submitted my active law license. "Mrs. Thompson, can you read the highlighted portion?" Her voice got smaller. "Active license to practice law issued to Joshua Thompson 10 years ago. In good standing." The courtroom erupted. She screamed, "You lied to me. Our whole marriage is a lie. I told you I had a law degree. You said you didn't want to be married to a lawyer, so I didn't practice. I never lied. You just never asked if I maintained my license." The ruling was swift. Divorce granted on grounds of adultery. Victoria got 20% of marital assets, had to repay the $54,000, no spousal support, and had to pay her own attorney fees. Victoria and Derek broke up within a week when he realized there'd be no money. The moral? Maybe don't assume the quiet IT guy doesn't know what he's doing. And definitely don't put your criminal plans on Instagram.